Hey everybody, it's Ronnie here, and so in today's video, I have my very first crochet tutorial. So this has been a long time coming. I've been really excited and really trying to decide which tutorial I wanted to start with. So I wanted to start really basic and beginner friendly with a scarf. Now with this specific scarf, as you can see, it's very fuzzy, so it's not necessarily beginner, but I feel like this is a pretty good tutorial to help you learn how to work with this sort of fluffy, soft, fuzzy yarn, because it can be very difficult. So I've come up with this cute scarf, and yeah, I will be showing you how to make this. And it is very simple. It's honestly really repetitive, and I made this one within a couple hours, including little distractions and lunch breaks. So yeah, this is a very easy scarf, and yeah, I hope you all like it. If you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. I am ready to answer. And I will also have this written pattern available on my Instagram and Ribblr. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So for the materials you need, you will need a whole ball of whichever yarn you are using. I am using this kind of fuzzy yarn. It's kind of old for my stash, so I'm not sure what brand it is. I think it was Bernat. And then obviously some scissors, a needle for sewing, only to sew in ends, don't worry. I definitely recommend, if you're using fuzzy yarn, to use some sort of stitch marker, just so you know where your rows end. And I am using a 10mm crochet hook, this big boy, but you can always adjust it based on the type of yarn you are using. No matter what kind of yarn you're using, you are going to start with a slip knot. So the way you do that is you wrap your yarn around your fingers twice, you move the yarn over once, and you kind of flip it over again. So yeah, you're just making that simple slip knot that slides perfectly onto your hook. Now, with the type of yarn I'm using, I will be chaining 11. Now, with my testers, they've recommended with blanket yarn to chain 15, and with like thinner, finer yarn, almost like acrylic or even skinnier, you can go far as like 31. Fur yarn can be a little difficult to figure out, so it's definitely a kind of like you need to count and kind of feel your way around the stitches. So in that second stitch from the hook, you are going to single crochet. Now, whichever number you do, if you chained 15, you will use 14 stitches. I chained 11, so I will have 10 stitches. I'm putting a stitch marker in that first stitch just so I do not lose my place, so everything stays nice and straight. Now I'm going to continue single crocheting across until I have a total of 10 stitches. Now these chain 1s or chain 2s do not count as a stitch. Now once I've reached the end of my row, I will be pulling tight on my little loose end right there, just to make sure nothing comes undone. Then I will be chaining 2, because this is where the pattern starts. And so you're going to turn your work, and in that same stitch, you are going to double crochet. If you need help with what any of these terms are, you can always search up some cool tutorials. You can kind of slow down the video and pause and just see how it is. And again, you can see me putting in that stitch marker because I do not want to lose my place. So now, again, kind of feeling around the stitches, I am going to continue double crocheting across until I have 10 double crochets. Now, depending on hook size and yarn type you use, you might have some gaps. With fuzzy yarn, the fur or fuzz kind of covers all the gaps, so it still keeps it light while continuing to have that sort of, thick warmth. So again, I hit the end of my row. I took out my stitch marker because again, I want to make sure I'm doing the right number. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and continue to double crochet across. Now you definitely, if you are working with fine yarn like this, where you're not fine, thick yarn like this where you can't see your stitches, it is so important and vital that you count your stitches to make sure you have the correct number in each row. So if you miss one stitch and like put it somewhere else, it doesn't look too awkward because you have the same number of stitches in each row. Because I've definitely made mistakes while making this scarf, but it's hidden with all the fuzz. Hey everybody, sorry for the interruption, but just a little side note, both of these finished scarves will be available on my Instagram and Facebook page during my restock, along with a bunch of other really cute plushies. So if you are interested in anything or just want to go and support me, thank you so much. Everything will be linked down below in the description. Alrighty, bye, enjoy the rest of the video. I definitely had to test this before making the actual video, and so the whole scarf I worked up pretty quick in about like a couple hours. The whole scarf itself, I made mine about 74 inches long. So again, you can see I've only worked on this for a little bit and it's already building up some really good length. You are just going to continue that pattern of, you know, double crocheting across 10, chaining 2, turning your work, double crochet 10, and just continue that until you reach your desired length. You can definitely try the scarf on, make sure it's that perfect length, whether you want it longer or shorter. And yeah, just kind of personalize it to your preference. As you can see, I'm speeding up this video a lot, but it was honestly only like 20, not even 20 minutes of video. So once you reach your desired length, you are just going to go ahead and chain 1 this time. Kind of like how we did at the start, where we started with single crochets, we're also going to end with single crochets. So in the same stitch, you are going to do your first single crochet and continue across until you have 10, just like the double crochets, except with single crochets. Just so then we kind of have that symmetricalness on both sides and like a decent kind of foundation-ish chain. Once you reach the end, I chain 1 just to make my final knot pretty secure. You can then cut your yarn, pull out the rest, make sure it's nice and tight so it does not come undone, and then you are going to take your needle and sew in all of your ends. Now, it's not as bad as you think, especially if you are working with fur yarn. The texture just kind of helps hide it, so you don't have to be so meticulous with hiding your ends. So I'm just going to go through and just tuck it in, weaving back and forth, making knots here and there that you can't really feel or see. And it all camouflages so well. And I will be doing the exact same thing to the other side. And after you've sewn in both of those ends, your scarf's all done, and honestly it looks so cool. It's so warm and fluffy and cute and perfect for this cold wintry weather. I'd love to say a big thank you to both of my testers on Instagram and Ribblr. I do have more coming soon, so check me out on those platforms if you'd like to test. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you all have enjoyed this very first crochet tutorial. I do plan on making some more, and I really hope you guys enjoy this. And so yeah, if you make one, let me know. If you use a different kind of yarn, I'd love to see it. You can always tag me on my Instagram or TikTok. I will link them all down below in the description. Or you can even just comment on this video and let me know what you think. Again, thank you all so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. Have fun, and don't forget to have fun crafting. Bye!